Today is April 29th, 2015. The time is 5:35 p.m. Pacific Time. And up next from Dave Hodges of the Common Sense Show. This is dated April 29, 2015. Jade Helm's Silver Lining. That's the mainstream media. Looks like a dinosaur with his head stuck in the sand. I used to lament the fact that 98% of the mainstream media is owned by only 6 corporations. A decade ago, we all knew that the media was controlled, but the public would laugh in our faces for saying so. Today, the laughter and cries of conspiracy theorists are fading. The mainstream media is dying, and the independent media is exploding and will soon be king. Jade Helm is waking up the sheep like nothing else I have ever seen, and these former stay-on-the-couch types who watch Wolf Blitzer are visiting the websites and listening to the shows of the independent media in record numbers. The entire Jade Helm fiasco is scaring the hell out of the average American, and this is providing the independent media with an opportunity to reach record numbers of people who do not yet know the truth. Hosea 4:6 states that, "My people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge." This article makes it abundantly clear that the events surrounding Jade Helm are providing those people with an opportunity to spread the truth. As pervasively evil as Jade Helm is, the net effect of this unconstitutional tyranny may serve to backfire in the faces of the globalists. Controlling the narrative. If the globalists are truly going to impose draconian martial law control in the United States, controlling the narrative is critical. Until recently, the corporate-controlled media has dominated the narrative regarding the true state of affairs of the planet. However, sociologists will tell you that when a committed movement reaches 10% of the population, the movement explodes, and our time has arrived, and the message of the independent media is being heard in record numbers. The globalists are quickly reaching the point where they can no longer tolerate the Hagman and Hagman Report, Steve Quayle, John B. Wells, and Alex Jones. The globalists must move quickly to subjugate the independent media before it becomes impossible to control the population. This is why the FCC illegally imposed net neutrality several weeks ago. However, it is a case of too little, too late. The proverbial horse is out of the barn. Record numbers. I am a statistics person, having taught and written courses in the field. I have looked at the numbers of both independent media and the mainstream media and discovered that there has been a seismic shift in the relative ratings. One has to go no further than Steve Quayle's website to understand the changing fortunes in who the public is following with regard to getting their news. Steve has one of the largest websites in the world. He has well over 1,500 websites that follow his work and publications on a daily basis. I would make a rough estimate that Steve's site has been visited by between 12 to 15% of the over 40 male demographic, and these numbers are much higher on some days. Before It's News is one of the most visited sites in the world as well, and attracts a very similar demographic. These estimates are the result of analyzing both Google and Analytics, and Alexa, which are not perfect cybermetrics, but are capable of showing accurate trend curves. And by himself, Steve Quayle is reaching more than the 10% figure that SNARC research says will bring about a trend of listening and or reading that will go viral. Rest in peace, MSM. And there are your mainstream media organizations. According to prime time data by Nielsen Media Research, live and same-day DVR data shows that Wolf Blitzer's daily audience on CNN is down to an average of 116,000 viewers per show. The formerly popular Fox and Friends and the Van Susteren Show are now under 300,000 viewers each. Even Anderson Cooper is down to an average of 82,000 viewers per show. Do you realize what this means? Most independent media broadcasters use Skype, Twitter, and other social media to increase their exposure. The independent media dominates these domains, and since 60% of all people under the age of 40 use digital media to get their news, the inevitability, of the emerging dominance of the independent media is an inevitability. The independent media does not yet have the large sums of money that the globalists can throw at CNN and Fox. Our advertisers are not Ford, GM, the big brokerage houses, Big Pharma, etc. Our sponsors are sellers of useful and everyday products such as gold, organic seeds, and water purification products, whose vendors are normally individual proprietors, yet these are the very products you will need when the dollar collapses. And here's a video. The mainstream media is dead. Conclusion? On April 27, 2015, The Common Sense Show welcomed a total of 42,903 new first-time visitors to its website. Amazingly, on the next day, The Common Sense Show reached another 39,232 new first-time visitors. This means that in one 2-day period, over 80,000 new people visited a website. Like so many other websites, we are doing our best to tell the public the truth about the threat posed by Jade Helm. I would be willing to bet that most of these first-time visitors have never heard of the New World Order before last weekend. Personally, I am doing an average of almost an interview per day, and the majority of the interviews are about the threats posed by Jade Helm. Sometimes I am being interviewed several times per day, and the fastest growing number of the types of stations that are interviewing me are from the mainstream media and represent such outlets as Fox and Clear Channel Communications. 6 months ago, these radio outlets wouldn't have touched the likes of me with a proverbial 10-foot pole. This is largely being driven by the fact that people are frightened over Jade Helm, and they are frustrated that these events are not being covered in much of the corporate-controlled mainstream media. Well, folks, I'm trying to do my part, and doing these articles by Dave Hodges. You've seen quite a few articles from Dave Hodges on my channel, and I do reach a lot of people, folks, a lot of viewers, so hopefully my videos will help too. We who are awake need to turn this fear into action. Jade Helm may or may not go live, but its successor most certainly will. Billions of dollars are not being spent on these drills because these people have nothing better to do with their money or their time. The globalists are playing their best hand with Jade Helm. This is high-stakes poker, folks. Jade Helm is providing the independent media with an opportunity to make a difference because the truth is now out in the open. People are hungry for the truth. If you are reading these words, and I am, and you are too, you are the independent media. You do not need a radio show or even a website to have an impact. Engage people, friends, and relatives in casual conversation. Tell these people how the futures of their children are being stolen. Can you imagine the impact that 6 million housewives shopping in the local grocery stores on this particular day can have on general overall awareness? When you meet resistance with your message, don't argue. Just treat the person like their phone is busy, and you will call them back. Plant a seed of knowledge and move on to the next person. Act as if your life depends on it, because it does. In fact, you can start right now. Show people the following photo and ask them this question. Where are the trucks belonging to the plumbers? Jade Helm or its successor could become either the globalist Waterloo or it will be our death march. What we do in the next 10 weeks is very important. And that's this Walmart store there in that photograph. Okay, so he says that Steve Quayle is really spreading the word, and his website is gaining many viewers from the fact that, according to him, many people are concerned, very seriously concerned about Jade Helm. They are concerned because it could literally translate into life or death, folks. And he says the horse is out of the barn. What say you? Thanks for watching. Pink out.